Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Well, today I'm going to be sharing my concealer routine with you. It has been requested by you guys, so I thought I would show you how it is that I put on my concealer and all my other makeup without my concealer getting cakey looking or creasing on me. So if you want to see how I do that, you're in the right place. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button along with the bell notification. That will be notified when I upload new videos. So again, if you want to see my concealer routine, then just keep watching. Alright guys, today I am going to be doing a video on how I do my under eye concealer and prep my skin for that as well. I was asked by one of the viewers to do this type of a video because they have problems with the foundation looking cakey and settling into all their fine lines and wrinkles. So I'm going to show you what it is that I do, and hopefully this will help you out in some way, shape, or form. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your skin to begin with is completely prepped, clean, and ready to go. One thing I like to do like once a week is I will use my Boscia exfoliating gel peel underneath my eyes because I can gently put that under there. It will get rid of all of the dead skin that's accumulated because you can't use your exfoliating products underneath there. And this is just nice and gentle. So I take a little dab like so. Kind of even it between my fingers and simply, lightly, I'm not applying really much pressure, but you need to apply a little bit. And this just like balls up. You can tell it's all dead skin. And I also like to do this on my eyelids as well, because we get dead skin up there. And this really helps with my eyeshadow going on smoother. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take a makeup wipe. Actually, let me zoom you in. Hopefully you can see how this is balled up on my eyeballs. And we'll check and see if it does. So let's try zooming you in. So you can kind of see I've got dead skin going in and out of focus. You can see I have like dead skin up here. I have some down here. It's just all over the place. So that's skin that is dead and is really going to start caking up any products that you put in. So again, I just want to take a makeup wipe and gently wipe that away, making sure I'm not getting anything in my eyeballs. This is also great to use if you are using Retin A and you get any peely skin that you just can't get rid of. This will take care of it right away. It's a stubborn one. Okay, and there's one more area that I like to use it as well. And this is a great little tip I gave somebody one time, but I'll share it with all of you. If your lips are dry like mine in the wintertime, you have to use like the lip scrubs to get all that dead skin off, and it really kind of tears them up. I just take, again, a little piece size of this around my lips. Same thing, it just takes all that dead skin away. Don't get it in your mouth. And again, wipe it off. Look at all that dead skin that's on my finger. Gross. Alright, so let me zoom you back out again now that I have everything all moisturized. By the way, I just took a picture of my lips before I started the video so you could see what they look like. And let's take another one now so you can see how well that worked. Alright, I'm going to make sure I got all of that off my lids. I did. Now we want to go in and start moisturizing our skin. So the first thing I like to do is start off with my eye cream itself, because that's going to be the one that really needs to get soaked in. My favorite, and I have used this probably close to 2 years now, is the MIZON Multifunctional Formula Snail Repair Eye Cream. A little bit goes a very long way with this, and it's very inexpensive. You can buy it off Amazon. I'll leave links for everything down below in the description box. All I do is I take a little dab like that, tap between my fingers, Gently tap it in. Do you love my nails, by the way? I got them done for Christmas. And I take that up onto my upper lid as well because it needs moisture as well. All right, so that part is on. We can move on to the next thing. So what I do during the day, and I'm actually going to leave a couple products out because it's 8:30 at night actually when I'm filming this. I will take my Snail Recovery Cream that's a gel for the face, and I'll mix it with some of my Laneige water sleeping mask. And normally I would put my sunscreen in there too. Instead of doing layer after layer after layer and waiting for everything to dry, I've discovered it's much quicker if you go in with everything all at one time, and you don't have to use as much that way. So I take about that much of the Snail Recovery Cream. And that much of the Laneige, and I just wipe them together. I do the same thing at night with my Brighten. I just put that in with my other products. I recently started back up on that. I quit for a while because I was doing and testing so many different skin products. I wanted to get a good idea of how well they worked and didn't want the Retin-A to interfere with that. But now I know what it is I'm using, and I'm not getting any younger, so I really need to go back to doing everything. Okay, so that is just going to dry and just absorb into my skin. Why don't I get my hair out of the way when we do this? I'm keeping it zoomed in since we're doing everything on the eyeballs so you can see that. So I want to go in now and prime because I'm going to be putting on foundation and everything. So I'm going to be going in with my Tarte. This is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. Love this stuff. And I prime in a few areas. This is a good pore filling one. So I kind of rub it around and then press it in. Tarte recommended this product and I just love it. I had to repurchase it twice now. So anywhere that you have pores or problem areas, take a little bit of this. I have weird bumps on my chin. My leftover from having rosacea. And then to make sure that my skin is just completely moisturized and really refreshed, I just can't beat the Touch in Sol No Poreblem Primer. This is so moisturizing. It does such a good job at filling in your pores. So I take some of that and I go all over my face with this. And I like to start out on the inside and then bring it in. And then lightly underneath my eyes, I take that as well as up on my lids. Okay, so now my skin is prepped and ready to go with concealer. Now, as you can see, I have very dark under eye circles, and let me smile to show you. My cheeks are very pronounced, so that causes this really deep line that no matter what I do, I'll never get rid of that. That's a shadow, and you can't hide a shadow. So what I like to do is first I will do my color correcting, and I use the Benefit Boi-ing Brightening Concealer. This is in color number 1. I got this last Christmas actually in a little kit. It had some other of their products in that. And as you can see, I've made quite a dent in it. But this is what it looks like. It's very thick. And then I just take an angled brush, and you don't need very much of this. And I stay strictly in the areas where I'm dark. And because I also have a lot of discoloration on my eyelids themselves, I'll take a couple of swipes up there as well. Don't worry, I'm going to blend this all out. I'm just getting it on my face for now. This isn't the look I'm going for. And this eye is a little bit worse as far as having darkness in this inner corner, so I go a little bit heavier in there. Now, what I like to do is take my Moda Pro. This is the chisel one. It's cool because it's got just a weird shape. It's very, very stiff, but it gets up underneath your lashes, right along your eye waterline really well. And I just gently tap that out. And then I take it up on the lids and same thing, tap it. I don't want to poke my eyeball out. I just want to tap this in place and then repeat it on the other side. All right, next I like to go in with my sponge, and this is the Sonia Kashuk sponge. I have tried a lot of different sponges over the years, and this is the one I prefer to use with my concealer, and I do use it damp. But I go over that one more time just to make sure that that product is really blended out. Again, I'm just lightly patting it. All right, so that part is done. You can see that's already helped with a lot of the darkness, but I still have that shadow there. So this is when I come in with step number 2 of my concealer. So right now, my favorite is the Huda Beauty. This is the Overachiever concealer. I have mine in the color Cotton Candy. A couple other ones I can recommend to you. This is by JOAH, and it's their full cover concealer. This one is a great full cover one. Giving you ones that don't cake up on me and are very moisturizing. The Tarte Creaseless concealer. This one is another great one that doesn't, at least on me, crease. And then if you're looking for a drugstore one, the L'Oreal True Match Super-Blendable Multi-Use Concealer. It's a very long name. There's a variety of colors in this. Go for something light because you want to bring that lightness to that area. This one you'll go through pretty quickly, but I really like that one. So with the Huda Beauty, this one's a little different. It's got a stainless steel tip on it. There you go. And in the hole, you just squeeze it and some of the product will come out. What's nice about that stainless steel tip is it's also cooling. So I just squeeze a little bit out and I take it just on the inner part of my eye. Now this can dry fairly fast, so you don't want to like spend a lot of time on one eye or get one eye done and start making phone calls and then try and go back to the other eye, because that will be bad. So again, I just take that same brush and I'm actually blending this out both over that shadowed area, all the way under my eyes actually, and then further out than what I did with the Benefit one. I can't talk, it's late in the day. You'll have to forgive me. Okay. And same thing, I'll take whatever's left over on the brush, put my lid, and that acts as my base for my eyeshadows as well. And then go back with the sponge. Okay, so as you can see, I have everything tapped out. The darkness, if I were to look up, doesn't look so bad. It's when I look down is when you definitely see that shadow in there. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and put on my foundation, and then I'll be back to do the rest of my makeup with you guys. Alright guys, I'm back and I now have my foundation on. So let's move on to the second to the last step actually, before I finish putting on the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to go back into my Huda Beauty concealer for this step here, because again, it's a nice light color and this is so creamy and it just doesn't cake up on me. So squeeze some out. This time I'm only going to work on one eye at a time, and I'm actually going to go a little bit heavier with it, I should say. Now, still want to go in with that same Moda brush, and again, just gently start tapping. And again, I'm going to go up on my lid with this. And I really want to make sure that I take it on the inner part of my eye too. Or against my nose, I should say, the side of my nose. Okay. And before that completely dries, I want to make sure that I blend out the edges of that really well. When you're doing this underneath your foundation, it's not as important as this step. You really want to make sure that you have a nice smooth transition going from your concealer to your foundation. And make sure that you have a sponge that will get right into those tight spaces and up right underneath your lash line. Squeeze it and pinch it if you need to. Okay, so now we'll let that set. And hopefully you can see the difference between my two eyes. And again, this is my worst eye, so it's looking quite a bit better. Squeeze them out on this eye. I'm really not using a lot. It looks like it because a little bit goes a long way with this. And if you want to let it dry a little bit, sometimes that will help let it set up. That's why I kind of take a break and go up onto my lid. And back to the sponge. I'm not pressing hard with this, by the way. I'm just applying slight pressure and tapping it. I'm kind of happy with that. I want to go in with just a little bit more in my problem area here. And the reason we want to put light under our eyes is because when you look at any type of a drawing or photo or anything that's light will go out, anything that's dark recedes. So that's why we contour with darker colors. And we highlight with the lighter colors. Okay, if you want to, you can take some of this and just go down like the center of your face. Add a little more dimension that way. Okay, next step is we definitely want to go in and use a powder. Now, I have tried probably every kind of powder there is out there, whether it's drugstore, high-end. I've spent way too much money on powders. And believe it or not, there's two that I prefer to use under my eyes that are drugstore. First one is by Essence. It's their Brighten Up Banana Powder. This is a solid powder. And it just looks so beautiful and smooth. But what I've recently really fallen in love with is JOAH Beauty has their Selfie Ready Setting Powder. This is a loose powder. Now this is the translucent. You can see it's white in there. And then I recently picked up their banana powder, and also they have this one that's a peach shade. I don't prefer these. They're a little too dark to use underneath my eyes. So I stick with the translucent underneath my eyes. I will warn you, this stuff is so fine. When I open the lid, just watch it. There's a little poof of cloud that comes out. So what I do is I start off with a very stiff brush. This is one I got from BH Cosmetics. It's number 137. I think it was part of a set. But I love this one because if you look at it, again, just like my brush that I used with my concealer, it's got a point to it, so it really allows me to get up against my bottom lash line. So I simply tap into that, and then I go into my lid and kind of tap that out. Maybe you can see the powder coming out this time. I don't need a lot, just a little bit. And now I'm going to take my sponge one more time. Just make sure I don't have any creases whatsoever. And then lightly, again, just tapping motions. Don't forget to get in the inner part of your eye, because if you don't and you start putting eyeshadows on, it's going to start clinging to your concealer. And I will even take this up over my brows a little bit so that I can put on my brow products easier. All right, so now I have one eye done. I'll have to turn down my lights when it comes time, but that way you can see how this doesn't crease on me, or at least not that bad. But what you see with this process is what you will get at the end of the day.
You can also use a damp sponge if you want to do that. I do not bake. I think that just dries everything out worse. So I stay away from baking. Now, if you want to let the rest of your face be bare, that's fine. Always, always, always set your concealer with powder. And the foundation I'm using today is very tacky, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face. And I'm just going to still continue to use this. I'm just going to switch over to a larger brush. This is a large fluffy brush, and I just tap this in. What I love about this powder is it just makes your skin look airbrush. It never looks cakey. It looks beautiful. So inexpensive. By the way, JOAH Beauty you can get strictly at CVS. If you shop online at CVS, make sure that you use your eBates because you get cash back from shopping there. I'll have links again to everything down below if there's anything you're interested in trying. Okay, so I have that set. Let me go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back with the finished look. Alright guys, I am back and I have finished applying all of my makeup. Now there's a couple more tricks I want to show you on what you can do once you get all your makeup on if you still feel you need a little bit more of a touch-up. The first thing you can do is go back to your setting powder. I'm going to use the banana powder and just take a little brush like so, tap it in, and then just in those areas where it still seems a little dark or maybe just needs a little bit of brightening up, go ahead and just add a little bit more of that. Not heavy, just really lightly. And don't forget, again, to go in on the sides of your nose. That creates a shadow there too, so that'll help brighten it up. The second thing that you want to do, let me grab a brush because I didn't do that. This will work. So the second thing you want to do is grab a highlighter shade of some sort. I've got ColourPop. This is their Super Shock Shadow in the color Girly. I've had this for quite a while, so I don't even know if they still make it. And I'm just going to take a small brush. I like this one because it's not so crazy. And you just go right on your inner tear duct. And again, that's going to help brighten that up. And people are going to notice the brightness and not the darkness. It's not going to contrast so much. You can go in with any light shade to do this. A gold would be pretty. White really helps. So that just gives that extra sparkle and make your eyes really stand out. So I have finished my makeup. I set it with my setting spray. Everything's done. Let me take some photos close up again so you can see how my eyes look now that I have everything on them. And I'll give you a close-up of that too. Okay, so now we've taken our pictures, and I will insert a close-up right here so you can see what my eyes look like underneath. Now you may notice here in the photo I also did take my eyeshadow. I took the color that I use as my transition shade, and I went all the way from tear duct clear up to the outer part of my eye. And I do that pretty wide. I do that for a reason. That helps cover up any of those wrinkles and fine lines that are underneath there. Kind of tricks the eye, and people see the color, they don't see the wrinkles. So might try that one as well. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, leave me some comments down below. If you have some tricks or products that you find really work well for you, I'd love to hear from you because trust me, I'm always trying to fight these dark under eye circles. I was born with them. That's my blessing in life, I guess. So, hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please make sure that you hit this subscribe button right here. Make sure you also hit the bell next to it to be notified when I upload new videos. That's every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. So until next time, I love you all, and bye-bye.